We're talking UFC on ESPN Plus 10. RDA versus Kevin Lee. Fight night 152, boys. Let's get straight into this shit. We got Julio Arce versus... Julio Arce versus Julian Erosa. Julian Erosa's off the tough. He's been on a few things. He's had his chances in the UFC to get wins. He keeps on fucking losing. I'm going to go with Julio Arce. I think he's going to get the finish as well over Julian Erosa. Julian Erosa, not the best fighter there is, boys. I'll tell you that much. He's not the best guy in the UFC, and if he loses this, he's going to get cut. So, say hello to Bellator. Julian Erosa, he's gone straight away. Zack Cummins versus Trevin Geils. I'm going to go with Trevin Geils on this one, boys. He's undefeated. Zack Cummins, a bit of an older guy, and Trevin Geils is very physically strong. I don't know much about his wrestling background. I hope that he's good at wrestling, for my sake. Because Zack Cummins for sure is going to be looking to take this fight to the ground and do what he does to other up-and-comers and shows them the ropes of wrestling. But I'm thinking that just because of the amount of shape that Trevin Geils is in, he's going to be able to muscle off some of those takedowns and beat Zack Cummins by finish. 11-0, soon to be 12-0 Trevin Geils. Look out for him. He's on a 2-fight win streak in the UFC. Open your fucking eyes to these contenders, boys. Patrick Cummins, another Cummins brother. Looks like Bronson. He's fighting Ed Herman. I'm going to go with Patrick Cummins. I really am going to go with Patrick Cummins. He's coming off some losses. This is the fight for his career. Ed Herman is also complete fucking trash. Okay? And I think that Zack Cummins is going to lose. And Patrick Cummins is going to go fucking psycho backstage. Much like Bronson, the serial killer. And go out there and fucking whoop Ed Herman's ginger ass. That's for damn sure. Mike Trizano versus Grant Dawson. I was going to pick Grant Dawson for my prospect spotlight. I might end up making it. I might end up picking Mike Trizano, if I'm honest with you guys. I've been paying attention to this guy. I really have been paying attention to this guy. However, this is his first fight at lightweight. And that's going to fuck me over if he... You know what? If he's going down to featherweight from lightweight, I'm going with Grant Dawson. Okay? He has the experience at featherweight. I've changed my fucking mind mid-video yet a fucking again. I'm going to go with Grant Dawson. I think he's going to get the win. I don't think he's going to get the finish, but I think he's going to out-grapple Mike Trizano for an extended period of time. Mike Trizano, if you don't know, guys, is the AKA killer. Okay, he takes on two guys. He takes on Luis Pena, gets the win. He beats Joe Giannetti, I think his name is. The guy on The Ultimate Fighter. This is the tough winner. Oh, I don't know what to pick. We're going with Mike Trizano. I changed my mind yet again. We're going with Mike Trizano. He's going to be the bigger guy at 145 from lightweight. I think he's going to get the job done. Danny Roberts versus Michael Pereira. Danny Roberts. Michael Pereira is a complete trash can. Coming on short notice. He's 21-9. Shouldn't even be in the fucking UFC. Danny Roberts got robbed of his last fight. Even though he was losing, he still got robbed because he didn't even tap and the ref called off the fight, which was stupid because that's what kind of refs we fucking hire. They're off their minds on fucking bar salts, I guess. Danny Roberts is going to get the win. Hot Chocolate Roberts. 16-4. All his losses have been in the UFC, I believe. So I'm going to go with Danny Roberts here. The other guy's a complete can. Desmond Green versus Charles Jourdain. Charles Air Jourdain, he calls himself. And I like that fucking attitude, boys. He's 23, which means one thing. He has an MMA background. That's his way into the sport. He started training MMA. I'm picking Charles Jourdain. Desmond Green coming off a huge win over Ross Pearson. But I think I'm going to go with Charles Jourdain here, boys. 9-1, soon to be 10-1. Doesn't even have a picture on his fucking website. Show some fucking respect, UFC, to your fighters. Aspen Ladd versus Ciara Eubanks. Ciara Eubanks is complete fucking trash. So he's 4-2. She's 34. Goodbye, Ciara Eubanks. You were about to get a title shot. Then you fucking complained about it and then missed weight and lost. Oh my days, it's perfect. No, she actually won. She won over Roxanne Modafferi. I'm going with Aspen Ladd anyway. Aspen Ladd's an absolute savage. Boner alert. She's a good looking. She's real good looking. But yeah, I'm going to go with Aspen Ladd here, boys. 7-0 as a female fighter. She's beat Tonya Evinger. She beat someone else that I can't quite remember the name of. But she's doing real good. And I'm going to go with Espn Lad. She finishes fights as a female at bantamweight. She's a big girl for bantamweight. I'm going to go with her. I think she gets the job done, boys. Okay? Main card. Davy Ramos versus Austin Hubbard. I'm going with Davy Ramos, okay? He's been in the UFC for quite some time. Alright, boys? He's been in the UFC for quite some time. 2 fights worth of time, to be precise. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background guy. He takes down guys, submits them straight away in the first round. He's got 2 in a row. That's what he fucking does. I think he's going to show Austin Hubbard the fucking ropes here. And he's a big, strong guy as well. Physical fucking specimen at lightweight. I'm going with Davy Ramos by submission. Charles Oliveira versus Nick Lentz. Nick Lentz is good, don't get me wrong. But I feel like Charles Oliveira is taking a bit of a cash grab here. You know, he's bet on himself, so to speak. He could get another fight higher up the division. I'd like to see Charles Oliveira versus Paul Felder again. That'd be a great fight. Charles Oliveira versus Edson Barbosa. Any fights. Oliveira's ranked guy. He's a savage in the division. I think he's going to get the win over Nick Lentz. Nick Lentz is good, not that good. Charles Oliveira is going to be a savage and submit him in the first round or second round. Either one. You pick a fucking round, he's going to submit him, boys, by Darce choke. Mark my fucking words. Megan Anderson versus Felicia Spencer. Megan Anderson is fucking a women's featherweight bout, so no one else exists other than Megan Anderson, Amanda Nunes, and Chris Cyborg. So yeah, Felicia said Spencer can fuck off back to wherever she came from. I hope she's not foreign, because that sounds racist of me. She's Canadian. We're good, boys. We're good. We're good. Doesn't mean anything if they're from a Canadian. If they're from Canada, it's cool. They can go back to Canada. It's a nice place. Megan Anderson gets the win. Antonio Carlos Jr. is taking on Ian Hench. I think Antonio Carlos Jr. is going to get this one, boys. Ian Hench is the younger guy. No, he's not even the younger guy. Never mind, I'm wrong. Ian Hench is a guy. He's coming into the UFC, trying to make a name for himself. I think he has a win in the UFC. Yes, he does. I'm not gonna bet on him, boys. I'm gonna bet on Antonio Carlos Jr. They have the wrong picture of him on the fucking schedule. That's how disrespectful this fucking company is. But Carlos Jr. has his losses in the UFC. He's 10-2, but all of his fights have been in the UFC. I think he's had about 8 fights in the UFC, if I'm honest with you guys. 7 maybe. Like, he's had a lot of his fucking fights in the UFC, trial by fire, and he's winning a lot of them. I'm going with Antonio Carlos Jr. I think he's on a streak right now as well. He's definitely a contender at middleweight. Neil Magny versus Vincent Luque. This is a good one. This is a fucking good one, boys. I don't know how it's co-main event worthy, but apparently Neil Magny has that kind of respect for losing fights on the main stage. I'm going with Vincent Luque. Neil Magny, in my opinion, is good, not that good. I think Vincent Luque came into the UFC. His record is deceiving, boys. And do not let it deceive you, because it will bewitch your mind. Okay? Don't let this record deceive you. He's 15-6, but he's an absolute fucking savage. Okay? He's an absolute savage. I love him. He was losing to Brian Barberina, though. He has problems with pacing, I believe. But he still finds a way to finish fights, boys. He's a young guy coming up. He's going to improve way more than Neil Magny is at this stage of his career between fights. I'm going with Vincent Luque. He's beat good guys. He has beat good guys. He's taken his losses in the UFC to Leon Edwards, most notably. If you guys know who Leon Edwards is, of course, the guy who got smacked up by Jorge Masvidal backstage and beat Gunnar Nelson by split decision. I'm going with Vincent Luque. He had 4 losses outside of the UFC when he was starting his career. And I think he got an opportunity on short notice to the UFC. Lost that one, but since then he's only lost 1 in the UFC to Leon Edwards and won everything else from like 2015. So, he's a savage. I'm going with Vincent Luque. Alright, Rafael dos Anjos versus Kevin Lee. Okay, boys. Get your lube out, boys. This is a big one. This is a fucking big one, guys. Oh dear. Oh dear, RDA. Another wrestler they've thrown your way. As if they haven't learned that you can't fight wrestlers. From Khabib, Colby Covington, Usman, all doing the same exact fucking thing to you. I'm going to go with Kevin Lee. He's going to be bigger than RDA. And I think if I predict this right, boys, Kevin Lee is a fucking genius. I think what's going to happen is Kevin Lee's made a deal with RDA to both make £165 to prove a point. If Kevin Lee is the genius that I'm going to give him credit for, I hope he's not, because he's actually kind of stupid. But he seems about himself. He's quite smart. I hope to God he fucking finesses RDA with that 165 deal that they had, and weighs in at 170, making RDA cut an extra £5, giving himself the weight advantage. That would be a fucking good play. That would be a good play. He's already bigger than RDA. He already has a bigger reach. He's taller than RDA. And if he finesses RDA like that, or if RDA does it to him even, they agree to make 165 to prove a point for this fight. Imagine if both of them weigh in at 170 and they both fucking opted out on the deal. That would be good, in my opinion. If RDA cuts all the way down to 165 and Kevin Lee just fucking pranks him and weighs in at 170 to give himself an extra size advantage, I'd do it. You know what I'm saying? That's a great play by Kevin Lee if he's going to pull this one off. But if they both make 165, hey, Dana White, make the fucking division, you bald cunts. Get out of the fucking way from the success of the UFC. But yeah, I'm going with Kevin Lee here, boys. I think he's going to be too big. I think he's younger. I know he's younger. I don't think that. I know he's younger by 8 years, actually. He's got the reach advantage. He's got the size advantage. I think he's going to come in there a bit bigger. I think the moving up in weight, he's had time to adapt to the weight class. The moving up in weight, he's not a guy where, oh, I'll move up in weight, I'll feel better. He's a guy where I'm dying to make this weight. I can't be here anymore. So I think that's going to favour him a bit better. Moving on. Kevin Lee's going to be too big. He's going to out-wrestle RDA. Much like Usman did. Much like Colby did. And I think he's going to get the job done. Kevin Lee's shut his mouth recently, which I respect. Because he's often talking shit. And he could be talking shit to RDA, for sure. But he's shut his fucking mouth recently. I respect that. He knows he lost. He has to get a win before he's rated again. Before he's even credited with like any respect again. I think this is the one for him. I think he's going to get it done against RDA, boys. I don't think he's going to play around at all with the striking. His chin's going to be better at 170 for sure. His strength's going to be there. I just think he's going to absolutely dominate RDA, boys, if I'm honest with you. Poor RDA. Goodbye. Goodbye, another Brazilian. Kevin Lee's going to get a win. And I don't know how. I don't think he finishes RDA. I think he just dominates him start to finish. I'll go with a 5-round decision. RDA's going to have some moments on the feet, but it's just going to be a drag him out. Kevin Lee takes him down with an improved cardio tank at 170. There you go, boys. If he makes that play to weigh in at 170 while RDA weighs in at 165, he might move up in my favourite fighters list. Because that would be a fucking genius 200 IQ play from Kevin Lee. The Motown Phenom. Please do it. Someone it'd be funnier if they both weigh in at 170. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're both going to jump off a cliff and then we both... Oh! You know what I mean? And we both don't go. 3, 2, 1. Ah! I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those weird moments. I'm going with Kevin Lee. I think he's going to dominate it. There you go, boys. That's the fight card. Tune in. I'm live tomorrow, Tuesday, 9 PM GMT, for an MMA Q&A. I'm live Thursday, 9 PM GMT, for an MMA Q&A. And, yeah. I'm live for the Fight Companion for this card as well, because I am for every fucking card. Am I right, boys? Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. My eyes stopped twitching, if you were wondering, but... You know, I don't know if anyone remembers. See you later.